Hey guys, it's your girl Angie. You're watching Barbershop Conversations. Make sure to click the button below to subscribe, like the video. Don't like it, leave a comment. You can also follow me at Angelica Curtis on Instagram. See you soon.
Charlo?
Not Charlo. What press conference did we have? Mikey Garcia's press conference, and I interviewed you there.
Okay.
And so we're here at the Abner Mares Cuellar press conference. What's your take on the press conference?
I think it was pretty nice. I like the Galen Center. You know, the last time I was here, Stavern was fighting Ariola for the title. And you know, I like the room of the Galen Center because it's perfect for boxing. It's not too big and it ain't too small. It's comfortable. We'll see what happens on Saturday night though, because a couple of exciting fights that are set to go down. Charlo against Williams, Cuellar against Mares. Cuellar and Mares, that's a must-win fight for Mares. If he loses, I don't know where his stock is going to land. He's a great fighter. And he may put up an exciting fight just because of that, but we'll see.
Who do you have winning that fight? Do you do predictions?
Cuellar he looks to be such a strong and big guy compared to Charlo. I mean, it's hard to gauge who's going to win that fight. It depends on how the fight goes down. It depends on how Mares fights him. It depends on how he fights Mares. We'll see.
So who are you putting your $100 on?
I'm not going to bet on that fight. That's a fight I want.
So you're not predicting the fight, basically?
No, I'm not going to.
So,
but as far as Williams and Charlo, I'm really hoping that Williams comes out on top.
Okay. Talk about. I'm gonna change subjects a little bit. Talk about the Black Panther Party and like you being a member of it and how what you did.
Well, I'll tell you, just the other day, I was watching on CNN the 75th anniversary of Pearl Harbor and how they spoke to the veterans that are still living from that event. Being in the Black Panther Party a little over 50 years ago, that reminded me of my experience in the Black Panther Party here in Los Angeles and all that we did across the country. I'm a veteran of that war, the war against the U.S. government and what they were coming down on us with, and how we struggled to fight for our freedom and liberation through the programs that we had, through the effort that we put forth in the black community and the service that we rendered to folks with the free breakfast for school children, the free clothing, the free health clinics, and our self-defense posture that we took against the police when they came down on us. A lot of brothers and sisters aren't here today who either got killed or got locked up in the pen from activities that were related to the Black Panther Party. There's some brothers that are still in the pen to this day that never got out since the summer of 1969, when it was at the height of the FBI's crackdown on the Black Panther Party. A lot of people don't know about that, and that's something that I try to tell everybody. The most significant thing, besides losing your life and your freedom, you got brothers that are forgotten about, and people don't even want to think about it. So this is why I keep reminding folks, we still got some folks that still locked up because they were Panthers, and because they were involved with activities related to the Black Panther Party. That part right there is significant.
Now you mentioned war against the government. What's your, how would you describe J. Edgar Hoover?
J. Edgar Edgar Hoover was, first of all, he was FBI director since Al Capone and served under over four presidents as FBI director. He did not like the idea that there was a group of black folk organized and armed and advocating change in the U.S. government. He didn't like the fact that we had became a national organization and we were fighting against what they stood for. And we weren't afraid to fight back against them when they came at us. This is what they didn't. Because back in those days, they looked at the Black Panther Party like they look at ISIS today. You know, like we were a terrorist organization, like we were, you know, and we weren't a racist organization. We weren't like the Ku Klux Klan, where we went out and killed white folks. We had a lot of folks that formed coalitions with us in our effort to do the programs that we did. We had the Brown Berets, we had the White Panthers, we had the Students for Democratic Society, SDS. You had a lot of folk of other colors. The white Appalachians in the mountains, you know what I'm saying? The white folks in the mountains of Appalachia, they were supporting what we were. Because they knew that they had in common what the average black folk had in common: poor housing, unemployment, police brutality, and everything else. So there are some people who like to characterize the Black Panthers as some way out racist, black racist organization. That's not what we were all about.
Talk about Huey P. Newton.
Dynamic brother. Come out of college, Merritt College, him and Bobby Seale, and they formed the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. And very educated, studied law, and came up with a organization that was going to aimed at stopping police brutality in the black community. See, back in Oakland in the 1966, 67, Oakland police had a bad reputation with black folks. They were brutalizing folk. They were locking folk up just for nothing, just because they were black. And they went out on a mission to stop this by following the police around. And whenever a brother gets stopped by the cop, they had these community patrols, so they would follow the police and had guns. Back in those days, California had an open carry law.
When you walked in the state capitol.
They had an open carry law. A lot of people didn't know that they could walk around with their guns out in the open, as long as they were legal and, you know, had paperwork. And they were getting ready to change that law because of what these brothers did. And they ended up doing it. They changed the law. The legislature voted to, we can't have these black folks going around here looking like this, scaring everybody with these guns. And when the day that they did that, Ronald Reagan was holding a press conference on the front lawn of the state capitol. And when the press was around Reagan, and they left and went over to see what the Panthers were doing, see what these black guys were doing. It's incredible. Huey Newton, he was that character that the FBI looked upon as the Black Messiah. Okay, the leader that would take black people to another level politically and you know. So this COINTELPRO program, although it had been in existence since the 50s, J. Edgar Hoover refined it to focus on the Black Panthers. They wanted to do everything they could to stop the rise of this Black Messiah. And how did they do that? They flooded the black community with drugs. They knew that if the leaders were all discombobulated in their minds, they couldn't lead the people no more. And how did he end up dying? He got killed by a drug dealer because he was so messed up on drugs at that time. He was going around strong-arming the drug dealers. That's the level they reduced him to. See what I'm saying?
How about Fred Hampton? When I watch Fred Hampton videos, I think he could have been Malcolm X, if not better. I mean, listen to Fred Hampton speak as a 21-year-old is astounding.
Fred Hampton was Malcolm X on steroids. Okay? That's what Fred Hampton was. Fred Hampton was the most dynamic leader that came out of the Black Panther Party, Black Panther movement. Besides Eldridge was one hell of a cat too. But Fred Hampton was one of those die-hard revolutionaries. And he used to tell everybody, I am a revolutionary, I am. He'd get everybody to say that over and over again to the day he died. And they knew that he was mobilizing the brothers in Chicago and taking them to another level. You know, Bobby Rush, the congressman, he used to be the party chairman in Chicago. Bobby Rush, former Black Panther congressman today. A lot of people don't know about that. Yeah.
When you look at the Black Panther Party and you look at our communities today, first let me ask you, as a Black Panther, how do you view President Obama's presidency? From that perspective, not from how you live today. If you compare.
If the ideals and the concepts of the Black Panther Party and its organizational structure were still in existence today and we had this black president today, we would look at him like we would look at all those other people back then that were black, that were trying to rise up and become this and that. Bootlickers.
Bootleggers?
Bootlickers. Puppets.
Puppets, yeah.
Being controlled by, you know what I'm saying? The powers that really be. President Obama, being the commander-in-chief, what a lot of people characterize the presidential position as the commander-in-chief. I don't believe that he totally had the ability to carry out 100% of what he really wanted to do. Because every time he would try to do something, people would block him with stuff. He would get roadblocks put up. And even the stuff that he accomplished, he don't get no credit for. See what I'm saying? Good man. Really good man.
President Obama.
And if there was ever a unifier, President Obama was a unifier. They called George Washington that, the first president of the United States. They called him the great unifier. Because he was able to bring all the alt-right and the left-thinking folk together to form this union like nobody else could. He didn't get elected president. They made him president.
George Washington.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. President Obama had to be elected president. He had to go out and campaign to get folk to get behind him.
From the view of a Black Panther, how do you see Donald Trump from that vernacular?
I have a lot of concerns about Donald Trump. Great concerns. Donald Trump is the most polarizing figure to ever get into the office of president. Instead of bringing folk together, he continues to make decisions that let us know that he's not concerned about bringing folk together. Look at the people that he's picking to be in his cabinet. People that, in some cases, not even qualified to be there. In some cases, Dr. Ben Carson being picked as housing and urban development. He's a neurological surgeon who has been totally against public housing. Come on, man. It's tokenism. That's just, I can't even find the words for that.
Euphemism.
Whatever.
I don't know.
Don't make sense.
It doesn't. It doesn't. Now, I'll ask one question. We gotta get out of here. If you could change anything about the Black Panther Party, what would it have been?
That the organization didn't go in the direction of being gangsters and selling drugs and opening up nightclubs and Huey becoming a mobster. That, to me, was so far away from the revolutionary ideals of the original mandate of the Black Panther Party. It started off as the party of the people. Okay? That's why we always say all power to the people. We wanted the people to take the power out of the hands of the oppressor and put it back in the hands of the oppressed. Once they moved in that direction, they lost sight of that. That's just my thoughts. But like I said, the U.S. government flooded the black community with cocaine, and they knew that if black people were so captivated by drugs, they would lose focus on that aim and goal that was set in the beginning.
So the government planted drugs and guns in urban America.
Half the people that are on skid rows across this country who are hooked on crack cocaine were people that were used to be in the movement back in the day. Half of those folks were. Half the folks that's locked up in the penitentiary right now were people that were involved in the movement back in the day. And they've become older folk like me and older than me who have children and grandchildren who are now coming up without any knowledge of their history of who they are. This is why black America has got to the place where it's at now with the young people, because they don't have no knowledge of who they are. Because their parents weren't able to teach them that, because their parents got all messed up on drugs. You see what I'm saying?
Now, talk about the movie. Where can they learn more about the Black Panther Party and your Image Award? Being nominated like an Emmy like me. We both nominated for an Emmy this year. Talk about...
you got nominated for an Emmy?
Yeah, man. I got nominated for the Rick Ross film that I worked on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for you. Congratulations.
Oh, you didn't even know?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you
didn't know.
Well, y'all were nominated. Vanguard of Revolution. Y'all were nominated for an Emmy.
No.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
For Emmy or Image Award?
Y'all won the Image Award.
You won the Image Award.
Y'all got nominated for an Emmy this year.
Have the Emmys taken place yet?
Yes, it's the daytime Emmys.
Daytime.
September 18th, man. You didn't know?
No.
You didn't know? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I believe you. If I'm not, yes.
I need to call Stanley Nelson.
Call him. I'm almost certain y'all were nominated because I saw it. Vanguard of Revolution, right?
Yeah, that's a PBS film.
It's a PBS film beat us out too. I forget the name of it, but it beat us out for an Emmy too. I would have been an Emmy award-winning producer if I would have. Man, it would have changed.
Surprised me.
Yeah. So talk about the film and where can they just so they can learn more.
The film is now available at Barnes & Noble bookseller. You pick up one for about $21. And it's the most, there have been a lot of films done on the Black Panther Party.
It was the best one I've seen.
But it's probably, yeah, and even
it's more contemporary too.
Even this film wasn't the perfect film because it didn't really tell everything that it needed to tell.
How could you?
But it did tell enough you know, that had, and it came at the right time. You see what I'm saying? The right time, and with all the stuff that's going on in the United States today, with black folk and the police, and, you know, social conditions still being the same as it was back in the 60s or even worse. It couldn't have came out at a better time. So it is available. The rise and fall of the Black Panther Party is what the story is telling you. And it's called the Black Panthers Vanguard of the Revolution, because we believe that we were the vanguard of the movement back in those days.
Yeah, the funny thing about it is, during that film, I watched it the first time. I snuck in the movie theater because I couldn't get tickets. And the second time, I couldn't get tickets because it was sold out. And I swear to you, it was a random lady. It was so full, and they had to check people for sitting. They didn't want people standing in the aisles. A random lady split her seat with me in the movie theater. Like, you know how you sit in the chair? She said, no, come sit here. I didn't even know her. We split our seat. I split her seat to watch it a second time. How funny is that? It was and you spoke at the end of it too for both screenings, which was pretty astounding. So,
it's been a blessing. And this year, you know, every year we do a tribute to Bunchy Carter and John Huggins at UCLA, because that's where they got killed January 17th, 1969. Bunchy Carter started the Los Angeles Black Panthers, and John Huggins recruited me into the Black Panthers. When I met him one day outside of my high school in Compton, passing out flyers to promote Eldridge Cleaver speaking at South Park.
South Park, wow.
This was in the fall of 1968. About 3 months later, they got killed. And I tell you the truth, it was the beginning of 1969 that they got killed. The very end of 1969 is when the police raided our headquarters on 41st and Central. So every year we pay tribute to John.
Right?
Yes. Yeah, 5-hour gun battle with the LAPD. The first time they ever used a SWAT team. Okay.
Were you there?
Yeah, I wasn't in the building, but I was there that day. And the night, maybe 2 nights before it happened, I was in the building because for 2 to 3 weeks leading up to that morning, we would be in that building on shifts, fortifying the place, putting sandbags all over the place, putting sand in the walls, and putting chicken wire over the windows to keep tear gas canisters, because we knew the police were going to come. They did a dry run a week before. They shut down 41st Street and 41st Place at 6 o'clock in the evening, rush hour. And they saw there was too many people out there walking and getting off work, and they just could not risk losing all those innocent lives in what they were trying to do, serve a search warrant. So they came back at 4:30 in the morning, December the 8th, 1969. And it was just by chance that I wasn't in there. And those people that were in there was 13 of them altogether. Those people were people that had just either changed ships or, you know, they just happened to land in there at that moment. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So none of them knew that they were going to be there that morning. But they were prepared to go, you know, because Geronimo Pratt was the leader of the Black Panther Party in LA after Bunchy got killed. And he was a former U.S. Marine, did 2 tour duties in the Marine. So he knew what it took for us to be prepared to have a battle with the police. That place was, man.
Email me the dinner information, Lisa.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
What dinner?
I'll give it to you.
What dinner is it?
We talking about the Black Panther Party, man. We
You heard food, and he's like, what?
I like to eat. No, but
Geronimo Pratt.
Geronimo.
2 tour duties.
Yeah, it was because of the knowledge that he passed down to us. We became soldiers, literally speaking. That's how we were trained. Once he became, you know, because we had captains and lieutenants that some of us that were in the rank and file that we had to act like soldiers. We were wearing army boots. We had these green and black fatigue army boots that we had to wear. We stopped wearing the leather coats, about a year or so before the shootout, because we knew that the FBI was cracking down on us all over the place. Everybody that had a leather coat on was getting stopped by the police. So anyway, we had to be prepared for that shootout, and we were being trained on how to shoot guns, break weapons down, clean bullets. We would go in there every day and learn how to do that stuff. And they brought truckloads of sand and potato sacks that we could fill up to make sandbags.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We were in there we had a tunnel that we were working on, like a mine shaft.
Like the Mexican Mafia.
That we were trying to finish as an escape route in case the police came in there. We'd get out, but we never did finish it. Because the police came in there when it was half done. It was supposed to lead to a sewer on the next street. But they knew what they were doing. They came in there and they just... Fortunately, nobody got killed. About 6 Panthers got shot, 3 police got shot. After 5 hours. Mervyn Donnelly, Robert Farrell, former city councilman, and Gilbert Lindsay, who was the councilman at that time. That's the 2nd district right there, which used to be Jan Perry's district, who is now Karen Price's district. Okay.
Now the
They
president.
all came during the shootout to try to negotiate with the police to get them to stop shooting so they could save the lives of the Panthers that were leaving. Yeah.
Are they wrapping this up?
Yeah, we gotta go.
Tell them where to read more of your articles at. Where they go to read your
Go
articles?
to Electronic Urban Report, EURweb.com.
EURWEB.com.
WEB.com.
Like W.E.B. Du Bois.
Yes.
WEB.com.
EURweb, EUR's Electronic Urban Report.
And tell me your name.
Mohammed Mubarak. My column is called Ringside Update.
Appreciate you.
You already know what it is. It's Barbershop Conversations. Hit the subscribe and the like button today.